Hey, Felice.
Hey, Fresh. No, who are you? Wait.
Whatever. Look, today we wanted to go on a cruise with our family, but there are so many reasons that people don't want to go on cruises. So we're going to talk about the top 10 myths about cruising. And these are the negative myths. These are why people don't go. People making excuses. Mm-hmm. And after you watch this video, I mean, you have somebody in your family that's not cruising, you need to show them this video, share it with them, and I think all their fears will be erased.
I agree.
And I think any misconceptions can be finally cleared up. Nobody else has done this video, so it's about time we did it. We decided to do this. Yep. Out of the goodness of our own heart. So we're here on a news set. We have lots of props. And what's the deal with ducks and cruises?
What is the deal with ducks?
You know, they started doing Jeep ducking a couple of years ago.
They did.
Some weirdo said, if you have a Jeep, I'm going to put a duck on there. And put a little tag, and you're supposed to share it on social media. It's ridiculous. So people go out and buy, like, copious amounts of Chinese ducks. So we did, too. We were going to Jeep duck and start this whole thing. And then I started seeing them showing up on cruises. And now they're showing up everywhere else. So ducks are stupid. Don't do it. I mean, they're going to end up in the water, in the ocean.
The kids think it's fun finding the ducks on the cruise ship, so the adults think it's fun.
That's weird.
Just you, buddy. It's just you, man.
Look, you can do whatever you want, Felicia, but as long as you
give me my duck.
You clean up whatever you want to clean up here. So really, it's the most inexpensive and convenient, all-inclusive vacation deal. Don't you agree?
I agree.
I mean, by the time you get a hotel, a rental car, and you go from one place to another, there's the danger of traveling. We'll talk about danger as well. Meals. Mm-hmm. We said hotel. Mm-hmm. What else? Just about everything you're going to need is already on. It's essentially a hotel on the ocean.
On the ocean.
Yeah, and you're going, and every day you wake up somewhere different. You have sea days, which is where you're out at sea, but it's usually beautiful because the captain's he kind of sails around the weather. They get these weather reports. They know when there's bad weather coming. A lot of people, oh God, we're going to end up in a storm and get tossed around like Gilligan. But that's not going to happen because we've seen the captain do it. We talked to the captain. They actually navigate around rainstorms. You can actually see going around it. Yep. And you can, once you see that radar, you can actually see, there's a rainstorm up 10 miles. So I'm going to go.
You can kind of see them off in the distance too if you're standing on the deck.
And even at night. I mean, they have a radar at night too. Yeah. So that is pretty cool. So they really almost have perfect weather almost all the time. And really, there's so much to do for all age groups.
There really is.
So if you've got
all age groups.
Young kids, you've got old people, you have bingo, you have some ships that have roller coasters. It's insane. So let's talk about the top 10 things without further ado. Remember, we have some people in our family that do not want to cruise. And we're going to show them this video, and hopefully, we're going to all get together and have a beautiful family reunion on a cruise. It was so cool, right?
That'd be so nice.
I mean, no one lives forever, you know what I mean?
No one lives forever.
You know, as House once said, people die. Everybody dies.
Everybody does.
Oh, wait, he said everyone lies.
Oh.
And he should have said everyone dies. Both are true.
They're both true.
All right. Anywho, let's talk about myth number 1. The Titanic. I mean, you can't get around it, right? Everybody's scared to death to get on a cruise ship. Why? Because they watched that stupid movie about the Titanic, which was ridiculous. And
I never watched it.
What?
I've never seen it.
You've never taken 3.5 hours out of your life and wasted them?
Nope.
Movie night. Look. So, no, the ship is probably not going to sink. I think last time I checked, there's no icebergs in the Caribbean. And with global warming, there probably won't be any icebergs at the ice caps either. I don't know what's going on. But there is the occasional cavalier captain, now I got to be straight up, who may take a chance he really shouldn't take. I mean, I'm not sure what happened with the Titanic. They crashed into an iceberg. I don't know if it wasn't there. Somebody told them it was there. Somebody was asleep at the wheel. I don't know what happened. I don't think we'll ever know what happened. I don't know if everybody ever tells the truth about these things because nobody wants to take fault. But now there's a little bit more accountability because we have witnesses, we have cameras, we have tracking systems that they didn't have back in the Titanic. So I guess there was just recently an incident on a Norwegian cruise.
There was.
Where what happened?
It got
grounded or something?
Grounded on a sandbar or something.
Yeah. So it got stuck.
And couldn't get off.
Got stuck with all the weight of the people on there. They couldn't lift it up, or the tugs couldn't push it off, so they had to get everybody off board. And then,
everybody off board and send them home.
Then they were able to move the ship, and now they're doing repairs or something in there too. It didn't breach. I don't think there was any leakage or anything. But yeah, things can happen. But no one got hurt during that Norwegian cruise, to the best of my knowledge.
No, I don't think
so. So that's a good thing. So yeah, probably not going to happen. It's right there. And usually when these things occur, the exception of Titanic was in the middle of the ocean. It was like 400 miles off of Newfoundland, I think, but that was kind of far out in the middle of the ocean. Get them, it's an iceberg. I mean, probably not going to happen. And everybody knows where all the mountains are all charted in the ocean, so they're going to go around them for the most part. But the last few incidents have all happened within visual distance of the coast.
True. That is true.
Including the one we're going to talk about next. There was, things happen, you know. Planes crash, cars crash, people can fall down steps. You can die on a bus. You know what I mean? Things happen.
That's right.
And really, most cruise deaths happen from people actually falling off the ship.
Falling
man,
or jumping?
Falling, jumping. We really don't know because you can't ask them when they're dead. You know what I mean?
That is true. That is true.
But it's amazing because these railings are a good 3-4 feet high. It's really, you really have to try to fall off a cruise ship. There's really nowhere on a ship that I've ever seen, with the exception of the guy on Royal Caribbean held his baby up to the window. I don't know what he was doing. But I don't see how somebody can actually fall off a cruise ship.
I don't.
You'd have to be leaning over, and somebody'd have to push you.
You're either you're just not standing at the railing. You're just going to fall over.
Yeah, you're leaning over, doing something you shouldn't be doing.
Right.
But even if you trip and fall on the railing, the railings are strong. They're not going to let you go over. You're going to have something to grab onto, something to block you. You have to actually get up on it and lean over it and put most of your weight on the other side of the ship. Right. It's very hard to do accidentally, okay? That's what I'm trying to say here. Right. So, and most people who die on cruise ships, that's how they go, believe it or not. You really have to do that on purpose. So, according to, I think it's the law firm Penny and Associates, a total of 623 people died on cruises that took place between 2000 and 2019. And there were 623 fatalities. So, when you think of the cruise capacity in terms of, I'm going to do a rough average, I don't know what the exact number is, say 500,000 passengers a year. Times that by 20 years. That's what, 10 million? So it's like less than 0.01% of people who die on cruise. Making it one of the safest ways to travel. Really one of the safest vacation ways. There's probably less people die as a percentage, less people probably die on cruise ships than die in hotels.
Okay.
I don't know what the actual statistic is, but you look at it, you really compare those things. So what about sinking? We asked about that. So when was the last time somebody actually died on a sunken cruise ship?
What year was that?
It was 2012.
2012, the Concordia?
The Costa Concordia, owned by a parent company, Carnival Cruise Lines. And 34 out of 4,229 people died. That's 27 passengers, 5 crew, and then later, I think, 2 members of the salvage team who were going down and digging into the divers or something. So that's really the worst case scenario. And it probably will never happen again. There's a lot of bad things. So let's go to our documentarian, Morgan Freeperson. We're going to hand it over to you to tell us about Costa Concordia.
Costa Concordia, with 3,206 passengers and 1,023 crew members on board, was sailing off Isola del Giglio in January 2012, beginning a 7-day Mediterranean cruise. Captain Francisco Cetino claimed that Costa Cruises managers told him to perform a sail pass salute on the night of the disaster. Cetino said he turned off the alarm system for the ship's computer navigation system. He was navigating by sight because he said he knew the seabeds well. He or someone on the bridge noticed waves breaking unusually and turned the ship away just a little too late. He later admitted to a judgment error. The port side of the ship struck a reef at about 9:45 p.m. A few minutes after the impact, the head of the engine room warned the captain that the hull had an irreparable tear of about 230 feet, through which water entered and submerged the generators and engines. The captain said the ship was about 3 football fields from the shore. Those on board said the ship slowly tilted about 20 degrees towards the port side. What about lifeboats, you might ask? The president of Costa Cruises said normal lifeboat evacuation became almost impossible because the ship listed so quickly. Passengers were advised to put on their life jackets, and the order to evacuate the ship was not given until about an hour after impact. After the grounding, passengers and crew were taken ashore from the ship by the lifeboats they could launch, Coast Guard helicopters, and some even swam to the island, leaving about 40 people missing. Half of those people were later found inside the ship. The Coast Guard rescued a South Korean newlywed couple who slept through the incident, only to awake and find they couldn't open their cabin's door, 2 decks above the waterline. The ship's captain left the ship before the evacuation was complete. He was later found guilty of manslaughter and sentenced to 16 years in prison.
Thank you, Morgan. So the point is, after learning that hard lesson, I highly doubt, I mean, it's extremely unlikely that something like that will happen again anytime in the near future. I mean, freak things happen, weird things happen, there's terrorism, there's meteors, there's all kinds of things you can't predict.
Right.
Highly unlikely that something like that's going to happen again any time in the near future. I'm pretty sure no other captains want to go to prison.
No.
All right, Felicia, what's myth number 2?
All right, myth number 2 is I'll get seasick.
You know, I used to get seasick.
I know.
Remember our first cruises?
I do.
Back in the day, it was probably, what, 10, 15, 20 years ago?
Yep.
It was a long time ago. So I had to
Wow,
go
we've
to
been
my
together a long
doctor.
time.
Shh. I had to go to my doctor, and I got medicated. I mean, the first thing people do is something like Dramamine, right? And you can buy this over the counter. It's not expensive, and this works for a lot of people. Some people use the C bands. They have pressure points.
Right.
That works for some people. Some people use ginger
Really? I don't know
or
that I heard
garlic
that.
or ginger or something like that. That works for some people, and some people it doesn't. But there's a whole bunch of different ways. There are people even done hypnosis. In it. And then at the other end of the spectrum is something called the patch. And I understand this is also identified as the date rape drug.
What?
The I don't know what it's called.
Seriously?
Here. What is it called? It's weird. These are old. These are extremely old, but I keep them around just in case. I forget what it's called. I don't know, but you probably heard. It's called scopolamine. There was a big thing in the news about people who dropping this in people's drinks or making them.
Really?
I don't understand because I've worn this several times. I've taken these patches several times. I'm like, a bunch of years, actually probably 6 years ago, 5 years ago.
You stopped taking them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would make me a little woozy, and not really up to a point where I'd pass out and I wouldn't know what was going on. It would actually make my mouth really dry, it would make me really thirsty.
That is true.
And
Kind of mess with your vision a little bit.
it did mess with, I couldn't see close things.
Yeah.
So that was really weird. But that really is the only thing it did to me personally. I don't know if it affects different people in different ways, but this will take motion sickness away. It is prescribed by a physician. It's the only way you can get this thing. I'm just going to get a renewal just in case. These are old. Wow, these are for 2015. They still work if you ever need them. If we're on a small ship and it was really choppy, I would put one on. You know, I mean, I have no.
I would always bring them with us.
And you wore it too.
I have worn them too, yeah.
You didn't see anything weird.
I didn't have any issues except blurred vision.
Yeah, blurred vision's a little weird.
Yeah.
Not like long distance, like close for
Yeah.
me. I couldn't read menus and things in the dark, and I can't do that anyway. So.
But we take these with us on every cruise,
'Cause you never know,
just in
yeah.
case.
There's a couple of ways around motion sickness too. If you're just mildly motion sick, like from the back seat of a car or something, you want to get to the part of the ship with the least movement. So think of a ship is like this. So if the ship's moving up and down, which piece is moving least?
Middle.
Right in the middle, yeah. So you want to go kind of, I guess, like the midship, like a middle level. You want to be all the way up top or down on the bottom. You want to kind of be in that center point where the least motion is. So that's a helpful
That's
tip. A lot of
actually
people
smart.
do that.
That's smart.
Yeah, so a lot of people will book midship for that reason because you have the least rocking there. So you hang out in your room during the day. Some people need to look at the horizon.
Yeah.
I found that helped me too. So
Absolutely.
you need a window or a balcony or something where you can watch the ship move, and then it kind of synchronizes your balance and
Correct.
all that stuff. So the least movement's happening in the middle of the ship, and if you do get mildly seasick, make sure you have a balcony or at least a window, something to look out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get a stair, or just sit on the top deck, and fresh air always helps too.
So
as well.
there's ways around it.
There are absolutely, yeah. So, but if you never got seasick, then you don't get sick in the back seat of a car, you're probably going to be okay. Now, it is a long time to be away. If you do get seasick and you're on a 7-day cruise, you can't easily get off. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But they do have
They do.
Dramamine on board. They have
Yep.
things like this, and I think
Yep.
they have non-prescription stuff on
Yep.
board that you can take. All right, anywho, how about myth number 3? What's the third biggest myth? So we talked about the Titanic myth, the seasick myth, number 2, and number 3. What's number 3?
I'll catch norovirus or the flu or COVID.
Look, you might catch syphilis too. It's probably more likely to do that too, but you need to try really hard to catch that, if you know what I'm saying.
I hear you.
Look, right now, everyone who gets on a cruise ship, it could be different by the time you watch this, has to present a proof of vaccination plus a negative proctored. Proctored means it's witnessed by a medical professional, either online, in your home, or at a CVS, or one of these places. You have to have some kind of negative COVID test before they allow you to get on the boat. You have a negative COVID test within, what, 48 hours?
Yep, 48 hours, 2 days.
They will not allow you to board the ship.
Correct.
That could change. It's probably going to change. I don't know what's going on. But these are pretty cool. So you can buy these. We actually got these at Walgreens.
Yep, we did.
And they have a little box inside of them. You just scan the box and you download the app, and they turn on your web camera or your phone camera, and they'll actually watch you do it as a medical professional, probably in India or somewhere else.
Yep.
And then they send you something via email and through the app, and you just show that on the ship, and you get right on. I think all the major cruise ships are taking
5 times?
So you can be tested at home, so that's really cool.
And it's super easy and fast.
It is super. I'd rather people be healthy when they get on the ship. You know, I don't want to catch anything.
I don't want
You know what I mean? So, but the truth is, the cruise cleaning is probably more thorough and better than it ever has been.
I agree.
Did you see people wiping down things constantly?
Constantly.
Elevator buttons, stairwell handles,
Yep.
doorknobs,
Constantly.
tables, everything. They're just
Agreed.
wiping the dog snot out of everything. And I think that's a great thing. There are the other possibilities of like norovirus and the flu and just a common cold, things you can catch anywhere. I mean, you can catch these at home, catch them at the office, you can catch them while you're going shopping. You pick up something somebody else touched and happen to rub your nose, your eye, you're done. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It can happen anywhere. But the ship is actually, I think, a little bit safer because they are taking those active precautions to clean things.
Agreed.
Do you know what I mean?
Agreed.
So I think it's actually a little bit safer in some of the public places you might go to, even like work, you know? I mean, even before you eat, they're always telling people, reminding people, washy-washy. They used to play a song, now it's washy-washy.
And they've installed sinks
Oh,
and soap dispensers
everywhere.
right there as you walk into the main food areas.
Yeah.
Washy.
And they remind you,
And-
they're constantly on it. And they hand sanitizing stations everywhere in front of the
Everywhere.
elevators.
Yep, everywhere.
So it's probably cleaner on that ship than it is
Yeah.
in your home, believe it or not. And they've done a great job. They also have these new air filtration systems, especially on the new ships, which are antiviral, antibacterial. They have ultraviolet light, so the air stands in there for a little bit of time, and it's able to kill all the viruses and bacteria and stuff, and then it shoots clean air out. So they probably have cleaner air there than you do in most public places.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
yeah, the chances that you're going to get sick, it could happen, but you're probably more likely to get sick from your little booger-eating, snot-nosed, daycare-infested children.
Wow, you're just so positive today. I'm so proud of you.
Okay, so, all right, that's myth number 3. Let's talk about myth number 4, which is a big concern for me. What's that?
That you're going to gain too much weight.
It's true that you're going to eat and eat and eat, and a lot of the food is so good, and it's irresistible. It really is. Do you eat a lot on the cruise ship?
We do eat a lot on the cruise ship.
But what do you do to work it off?
We walk so much.
I think we walk more.
You don't like to sit still, period.
Well, I don't.
So we walk a lot. We probably walk 15 to 18,000 steps a day.
A day.
Yeah.
So you're exploring the
no
ship.
lie, yeah.
Yeah, right. You're going from one place to another. You got to go from your room to the dining room. Could be. I mean, some of these mega ships are the size of small cities, so you can
That's right.
actually walk like a couple of city blocks to get
Yeah.
to the restaurant or your destination. And we try to take the steps whenever we can,
Mm-hmm.
as long as there's not too many floors. The steps are there, and they all have gyms.
Yep.
So you can work out. A lot of people work out on these things. So you might eat a little bit more, but the truth is you're going to be working out more.
Yeah.
So you're going to work through that.
Yeah.
I think I actually lose weight on ships, believe it or not. I actually lose a couple pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are like, I gained 5 pounds. I don't like how you do that because I'm so active. You know what I mean? I don't know how that even happens. Plus, you get vitamin D from the sunshine,
That's right.
right?
Yeah, it's healthy.
You get the negative ions, if you believe in that sort of thing. Negative ions are in sea air. It's from the evaporation of water. It gets in the negative ions, get in the air, and they're supposedly very healthy for your body.
Right.
Once they get in your lungs, they do some positive thing. You can look up negative ions, and they have that in salt caves. And because you're getting salt air, the salt air from the ocean coming up, you're breathing that, so that's really good air. I don't know. I think you're probably going to get a little healthier, and you're not going to have stress on the cruise ship because you're not working for the most part. Although I work on cruise ships, so I get stressed out more.
No, you don't.
But you're not going to have that stress. So all these things come together. Even eating good foods that they provide. There's a lot of vegetables, a lot of really good things that you might not do at home because it's too hard to prepare or too expensive, and it's all inclusive on the ship. So get it there. You actually could be healthier when you get off that cruise ship. So the more you cruise, I mean, there's people on there like 90, 100 years old. Some people live on these cruise ships now.
It is true. I've heard
It's
that.
unbelievable. And so will you gain too much weight? Myth number 4, it is possible, but if you're having fun and acting like a normal person, you're probably going to be okay. That's what I think.
I agree.
You agree?
I agree.
Myth number 5. We'll recap all these at the end. What's myth number 5, Felicia?
There's going to be too many kids.
I'm not going to lie, I hate children. All right, especially the little boogie-eating kids, and
Negative
especially these idiot teenagers who are fearless because parents and teachers are not allowed to. discipline anybody anymore. You can't do
On
anything. A
the
kid does
boats
something, you just look the other way. No,
You know, the hot
Don't
tubs
get me
where
started.
you've got
Elevator
a bunch
tag?
of kids who mysteriously
Elevator
don't
tag,
have to
you
go
love it,
potty
right?
I
for
am
6
the
hours at
worst
a time.
kid on the block.
And the
okay?
Norwegian Sun
I was
wave
like
pool,
a
which I
little
thought
hoodlum
was
when I
nice.
young.
It's
I
not
know
really
exactly
a
what
wave
these
pool,
kids
but
were
of
doing,
course
and
when
it
the
was
seas
bad
get
then,
open.
and I hate it more now. But a lot of kids cruise. There are a lot of kids on cruise ships, and they cruise because it's such a great family vacation. It's inexpensive. It's a great way for families to get there, like the family reunions and stuff.
Yep.
It's a great idea.
It is.
But are there always too many kids on cruise ships? I'm going to say no, because it depends what time of year
Right.
you go on. Because sometimes you go on spring break, it's obviously going to have a lot of kids. You go like holidays, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. A lot of people buy their kids Christmas presents. They want to take them on for New Year's or whatever, so
We
you can
did
have
that
more
once.
kids. Yeah, certain times of year you're going to have more kids. But while the kids, the little rugrats, the little booger eaters, are in school, you're probably not going to have as many kids on the cruise ship, and the midweek cruises as well.
Right. Agreed.
Those little
Definitely
rat-carrying,
midweek, yeah.
virus-carrying monsters won't be on the ship as much. And
Negative nanny.
it also depends on the ship you're going on. Some of the cruise lines, like Princess, Holland America, and Virgin. Virgin doesn't even allow people under 18 on there. I mean, there's some adults that are worse than kids, believe it or not. But so age doesn't always delineate the problem people. You know what I mean? But if you don't like kids, you don't have to worry about it. You just stay away from the big cruise ships, like the big mega cruise ships, like the Royal Caribbean big ships, the super ships, and the Carnival ships. And you sail some of the other cruise lines, you're going to be okay. You do like an MSC, if you do Norwegian, if you do Celebrity, if you do Virgin, Princess, Holland America, you probably have a lot less kids. If you don't like kids, like Felicia doesn't, then you could totally do that. Do you think Captain Kate hates kids? And she went to Celebrity because of that?
I don't know the answer to that.
Well, I'm going to ask her
I
that
don't know.
next time. I'm going to say, do you hate kids? Captain Kate, are you watching this? Do you hate children? Don't answer that. All right, myth number 6. Instead of kids,
Will there be too many old people?
now I'm not going to lie, there are a lot of old people, and I'm not going to lie about this. I hate old people too. I think I hate everyone. But I'm
Equally?
an equal opportunity hater. I hate everyone equally. So that's good. So, so I guess there are a lot of old people on cruises.
There are.
Because it's an inexpensive way to get away. Again, a lot of people live on cruises, and they're actually extending their life because of the negative ions, the vitamin D, the good food, the good service, the good attention on there. So yeah, there's a lot of them. But let me tell you the truth. Most of the old people you're going to find on the ship that you're going to see a lot are the fun people. They're the nice people. They're the good ones. They want to be around people. They want to have fun with younger people. The meaner ones you only see around mealtime. And the rest of the time, they're going to hide in their room, they're going to hide in the library, they're going to hide in the casino. So there are a lot of older people on there, but chances are you're probably not going to run into the meaner ones. You're going to run into the fun ones, and there's a lot of fun. I'd rather hang out with old people than kids. You know what I mean?
Okay.
At least older people don't eat their boogies, do they?
You are
Do old people eat boogies?
wrong.
I need some more liquid death. This is killing me. So if you really don't like old people, you can avoid the cruises like Celebrity, Holland America, and maybe Princess.
Yeah.
I think those are the older. Virgin is 18 and above, but it's more of a, I think more of a, like a millennial crowd, or 20, 30, 40,
Yeah, I think so.
somewhere around there. I'm not exactly sure. We're going to take our first, we'll probably have a video by the time you watch this. So there'll be too many old people. I'd say that's not going to be a problem in most cases.
I don't think so.
All right.
There's a nice wide variety.
There sure is. Now, how about myth number 7?
Cruises are boring.
What do you think about that, Felicia?
I don't see how you can say a cruise ship is boring with the number of activities that a cruise ship offers.
Let's talk about some of those activities.
Go ahead.
Swimming pools, water slides, trivia, yoga classes, dance classes, bartending classes, cooking classes, art classes, towel folding, scavenger hunts, dance parties, bingo, jet skis, snorkeling, 4x4 tours, swimming with sharks or pigs, rock wall climbing, surfing on the ship, roller coasters, zip lines, bumper cars, laser tag, escape rooms, endless show, karaoke. Sounds pretty boring, doesn't it?
It's a snoozer.
I'm pretty sure there's something that's going to keep just about any
Everybody.
normal human being really happy and entertained for most of those things. So if anything, I think that you'll find that there's too much to do, and you're going to be exhausted by the end of the cruise, and you're going to need a vacation from the cruise.
By the end of the day, if you didn't just lay around by the pool and you really bebopped around to all the activities, it's exhausting.
So no, Timmy, cruises are not boring. All right, myth number 8. You can't cruise.
Cruise alone.
That's fake too. false, completely false. You
False.
absolutely can. There's a lot of people who cruise alone. Matter of fact, there's a lot of people on the Virgin board who are talking about cruising alone.
Oh, really?
You know, a lot of single people cruise
Interesting.
alone. There's actually singles groups on the MSC and the Royal Caribbean Cruises group
Yeah.
just on.
Yeah,
They have
they were.
singles meetings groups and they have singles dances and all kinds of really cool stuff of all ages. So you absolutely can cruise solo, and a lot of more people are doing it now than ever. So that is absolutely false. How about myth number 9?
Cruises are claustrophobic.
Do you believe that?
I do not.
I'm not going to lie, some of the inside rooms on some of the older
Are
ships
tiny.
are very, very small.
Yes.
But you're just going to shower and sleep in that room, right?
Yeah, that's all you're doing.
The rest of the time you're going to be in big, gigantic areas. I mean, some of these ships are literally the size of small cities.
Agreed.
Would you agree with that?
I would.
There's some parts of Wonder of the Seas, the biggest cruise ship in the world right now, we didn't even see because it's so big.
It is huge.
We just missed a few things,
Yeah.
you know, because it was so much to see, and it was part of our 18,000 steps a day. So claustrophobic, I'm going to say no. But if you do suffer from claustrophobia, then get a balcony room.
Right.
Yeah, get something that's got a little bit more room, something you can see outside, and I think that's going to help you out. But the inside rooms can be a little bit tiny. I know some of the newer ships, they have video walls there
Oh,
and actually
wow.
show the ocean.
That's nice.
I think Royal Caribbean does, and I'm not sure who does or which ship does, but look that up. But claustrophobic people should probably get a balcony so they have a little bit more room to spread
that's a
out. And the
good idea.
suites are actually pretty big as well.
Yeah.
Kind of, some of them are the size of small apartments, so that's pretty nice. So no, claustrophobia, they're not going to have a problem there. And the last myth, myth number 10.
I have to get dressed up.
Do you think that's true anymore?
Nope.
Maybe in the old days
Yep.
at dinner you had to get dressed up. They had mandatory dress codes, but now even when they say it's formal night, it's not unusual to see somebody in shorts and t-shirt like me in the main dining room.
Yeah.
They really have dropped all the requirements for
Yeah.
dressing up.
If you want to do it,
Yeah.
you do it.
And people do it.
Yep, absolutely.
But if you don't do it, there's probably
okay.
1,000 other people who didn't do it too. So there's a little bit of everything now. It's a
It
complete
really is.
freedom on there.
It really is.
So you really, it's up to you. If you want to get dressed up for pictures, that's great. If you don't feel like getting dressed, I actually went to dinner in a dining room a couple of years ago in a bathrobe. It's a true story. Remember with Dan?
You did.
I did. I went to
You
dinner
did,
in a
And you
bathrobe,
had the belt from the bathroom tied
Like
around
the
your
Karate
head.
Kid. I went to
Yes,
dinner.
that's
It was
right.
a formal night too,
Yeah.
and I took pictures like that. I had
You
to
did.
find those pictures.
You did.
That's pretty cool. All right, so these are the top 10 cruises. Do you feel better about it now? Let's be honest. You're going to go on a cruise, aren't you? You're thinking about it now, aren't you? Let's recap those top 10 then. Number 1, the Titanic. We're all going to die. We talked about very, very rare, very unlikely. There was a problem about 10 years ago, but it was a silly mistake. It will never happen again. Number 2, I'll get seasick. All kinds of remedies. There's the patch, Dramamine, remember middle of the ship, so you don't have to worry about that. Less movement, and a balcony room so you can see the
Right.
horizon. Myth number 3, I'll catch norovirus, the flu, or COVID. Again, probably cleaner and safer on the cruise ship.
You can catch that anywhere.
Yeah. I catch it right here. You don't have anything, do you? You got cooties?
No, I don't.
Probably catch that in an elevator, probably catch it at work, supermarket, restaurant, just about anywhere where other people are. In your own home if you got kids running around
Yeah.
outside, so you never know about that. So you have, I think, less of a chance catching a cold or COVID or norovirus or something on a cruise ship because of all the cleaning than you do anywhere else. Number 4, I'll gain too much weight. It's possible,
It's
but
possible.
you're going to be active. You're going to work
Are.
it out, and you probably the result will probably be you'll be in better shape when you come off. Because you have less stress. You're going to be walking around. You're going to be more active. Active is the key to a longer life. Myth number 5: too many kids. What do you think? Depends what time of year.
Depends on what
the
time of
ship.
year, yeah.
Yeah. But if you're careful about what you choose, and you can look on the social media boards, people ask that question all the time too, and we have it in the comments. But we'll tell you which ships are best for kids and which ships are best for adults. How about myth number 6? There'll be too many old people. Yeah, there's a lot of old people. Are there too many? No, there's a real good mix.
There's a
on most of them.
really good mix on the ships.
Yeah. Now we haven't done Holland America. We did Celebrity. Celebrity did skew a lot older, but Holland America is what I understand is the oldest cruise ship, and Princess is a good element
Is
of
it?
older people too.
We haven't done either one of those.
Yeah, we're going to do that, and we'll let you know about that too. But are there too many on most cruise ships? On the bigger ones, probably not. It's a real good mix of younger and older people. Myth number 7: cruises are boring.
No.
No, I'm boring.
No.
Myth
It's-
number 8: you can't cruise alone. Yeah, you can. Myth number 9: claustrophobic. No, because the ships are sizes of 3 football fields, and if you are claustrophobic,
Get a balcony.
Get a balcony, right?
Yeah.
That's it. And then number 10: you'll have to get dressed up. You don't have to do that.
don't have to.
Tell me if you are. All right, so hopefully we will be able to take that family vacation, fam. Hello, are you watching? Because it's really the greatest vacation in the world. It's all inclusive. It's very inexpensive compared to the other ones. You might find ducks, which will make your week. And it is just a great vacation. It's one of my favorite ways to get away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cost-wise, experience-wise, you can visit so many places. You wake up in a different place every day. You don't have to worry about driving, parking, renting a car. Your meals are going to be cooked. They're going to be great. Your hotel's taken care of. You don't have to move your bags every day. You know, that's not a pain to carry your suitcases down to your car traveling from place to place, right?
Yep.
I hate
agree.
that.
I know.
But you move in this place and you're home. You are home for a week or two.
We are.
Yeah. All right. Well, we hope to see y'all on the 7 Seas. If you come see me, look for my 7 stripes and 2 stars. You'll know who I am. My name is Tim Cruz.
And I'm Felicia.
And
Bye, Felicia.
I knew she was going to say that.